Welcome to Stand Up for Doctors. I'm your host, Kim Downey. Thank you very much for joining us. This channel is dedicated to amplifying the voices of doctors, other healthcare professionals, and patients as they share their unique struggles, triumphs, and passions. My mission is to build connection and create advocacy for healthy doctors, driving positive change that benefits both doctors and patients. This is a space for everyone who cares about the future of healthcare. If you appreciate this content, please like and subscribe now. It really helps the episodes reach our target audience. And so far, these episodes have been on YouTube, but they're in the process of being uploaded on Spotify. So by the time your episode goes live, they should be also available on Spotify. I wanted to spotlight that. And today I would like to welcome Dr. Sam Khozin and welcome back Dr. Simon Craig. Thanks for joining us today, Sam and Simon.
Great to
Thanks,
be
Kim.
here. Thanks, Kim.
You're welcome. And by way of a brief introduction, Dr. Sam Khozin's tagline reads, "The Rural Hospital Guy, where all patients podcasts, helping create the environment and healthcare system your family deserves." And all of us on this call are all about that. So I love that. And Dr. Simon Craig is medical director and executive author and systems thinker joining us from Australia. So Sam and I are at the end of our week on a Friday night, and Simon is nice and fresh on a Saturday morning, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And today we'll be talking about Sam's work with Moody Khozin Consulting and Simon's newly released reflection cards for healthcare Brave Talks. And I have a set right here. So, as we get started, I like to ask what you'd most like our audience to know about you. And Sam, would you like to go first?
Sure. Thanks, Kim. What I'd like the audience to know is simply that we always talk about patients as a third party, but really we're all patients. So I always like to keep that in mind. And that's really my passion is to help people keep that in mind so that way we can focus on creating the best healthcare system for all of us.
I really love that. Again, and Simon, what would you like us to know about you today?
Well, Kim, I think I'll just follow on from Sam. I think it's all about connection in life and in healthcare, and stronger teams and stronger connections between clinicians really benefit patients, and it benefits us as well. So, similar sentiment to what Sam expressed.
Yeah, absolutely. Teams and culture, that's things that we can all agree on. And since we'll be spending some time with Simon's reflection cards before we get started, Sam, why don't you tell us more about what you're up to these days with your business?
Thanks, Kim. Um, Well, our goal really, Moody Khozin, or the new name that we're rebranding it to MKC Health, really is a passion project between my partners and I. And really, it's to help hospitals and practices and healthcare in general really um, achieve the potential that we all know is there and help guide the executives in the path that they're trying to achieve and really help them increase revenue um, and increase maximize for the patient experience and quality of care and show them those things are possible, not just kind of these abstract terms that we'd like to throw around.
And tell us how you're doing that. Have you gotten involved with any healthcare systems yet, or is it still in the works?
Yeah, so we helped a major academic healthcare center go from beepers to iPhones essentially in one of their departments. And by doing so, we help really revamp the way that they communicate because there's a lot of dead spots and areas where the doctors couldn't hear the pages or the overhead announcements. And so we helped them fix that. And we'll soon be doing the same thing for the rest of their hospital, not just the one department. Um, we're also through through another arm of the company or uh, a company that we like to call Claim Excel. We also help hospitals get money back from the insurers from denied and underpaid claims. So in essence, we help them stop revenue leakage And by doing that, then they also have more money to then put back into patient care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. And our healthcare system could use you because my husband, they had to cancel an appointment because they forgot to tell him it was a telehealth. Then when they found out it was a telehealth, he was at a location that didn't have enough bandwidth for a telehealth, and then he had to
Oh,
wait
wow.
another month. So I fully can appreciate the things that you're doing. That's really great. And Simon, if you had any questions or comments for Sam, and then tell us a little about what you're doing these days as a healthcare leader.
Yeah, and I'm very interested in Sam's project and probably would like to have a chat another time. So my background, Sam, just to explain that comment, is I'm an obstetrician gynecologist, and I stopped work in clinical medicine about 3.5 years ago, and studied wellbeing science and positive psychology, and then moved into maybe a similar thing to yourself, which was coaching and some organizational um, stuff. But the last couple of years, I've moved back into hospitals because, for one thing, I felt I wanted to be part of a team again. I was missing being part of my own team, and so now I'm working as director of medical services at a large regional hospital in Australia, and that's been fantastic. I'm really enjoying it.
That's great. And I'm happy to connect both of you so you can have conversations. And Simon wrote one of the first books that I read as I got involved in this space, From Hurting to Healing, Delivering Love to Medicine and Healthcare. And so often I share that helped me realize that these issues are ubiquitous around the world over time, and it's not unique to the United States or our specific healthcare system, which in some way might be a little of a relief that it's not just us, but also sobering that it's not necessarily better in other places, that every place in the world has its own struggles and challenges related to healthcare. And that's why I'm trying to do is make connections and offer hope. And if we can connect people that are doing things right and doing things well, some things could change now, right? If we had caring healthcare leaders that understand and then people that support them, it has to go both ways. So instead of playing a blame game, just trying to find people that are doing it right, doing it well, and amplifying those messages. And you are both terrific examples, so I love having you on together. And Simon, would you like to tell us about your Brave Talks reflection cards for healthcare and how we could get started using those today?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're very generous as usual, and I'm not the only one to know that, Kim. So the Brave Talks reflection cards kind of come from the journey with coaching and organizational culture change, sort of consulting. And when I moved back into working within hospitals, I realized that there's a lot of talk about reflection, individual reflection, but a lot of us don't know how to really go about it. And the other thing in hospitals, we want to have the sort of conversations that allow people to be vulnerable and to create connection. But again, a lot of the doctors don't feel capable of sort of facilitating those discussions. There wasn't sort of that anything to bridge that gap. So this tool has come about from that point of view. They've been useful so far in my experience. They're relatively hot off the press. But it has been a good, I think. And what we thought we might do today, Kim and Sam, is just use them with us as a trial group. The way we would go, so they can be used for an individual to reflect on, just for something to journal with, but they can also be used in groups, disparate groups or teams. And the way we would usually do it in a group is that we'd usually have an icebreaker kind of connection round. We've probably already broken the ice a bit, so we could go into the more deeper reflection cards if you guys are willing to do that.
I'm
Um,
game for sure.
so would you like me to deal the cards, Kim, or would you like to, or how would you like?
Well, let's see. Well, maybe we could take turn. And I want to add that I've got my own personal set from Simon himself in person. He happened to be in New York City, and I took a trade-in, and Simon gave me his cards, and I gave him a copy of our book, White Coats, Courageous Hearts. So that's terrific. So, yeah, maybe if we each could do one, because I had just pulled one out, and it said, "What is an act of courage in a patient's journey that has never left you?" So, Sam, would you like to go first?
Wow. What is an act of courage in the patient journey that has never left me?
I could jump in on that one while you're thinking if you
Yeah,
like.
it's going to take me a minute to really do
Sure.
it justice.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Simon.
And if they don't resonate, often we'll just pull another one out.
Yeah.
Um, as an obstetrician, it's mostly fantastic. It's mostly really uplifting, but it's when it's not uplifting, it's really awful. And I remember seeing a patient in the supermarket who'd had a fetal loss. It was quite early. It was about 23, 24 weeks from memory, and her sadness. And then I saw her again after I had finished clinical practice a couple of years later, a year later or so, and she'd had a baby. She had a little baby in the pram with her, and she was still touched by the sadness from the first, but filled with joy. And even the joy of the new baby brought up some sadness of the previous events and the loss. And yeah, mums are often incredibly brave, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and then I was thinking too, because as you know, I had cancer 3 times recently, and while I was going through my cancers, 3 of my good friends died of cancer, and 2 had cancers that I had. One had thyroid cancer that went to her lungs, one had breast cancer, and then the third one had ovarian cancer, and they were just so brave. Like they went through more, like I was lucky I didn't need chemo. I had surgeries and radiation, but all 3 of them went through more than one surgery, a couple rounds of chemo, and they were just so brave and strong until the end. So that stayed with me. And Sam, if something resonated, fine. Otherwise, I have another card ready, and then Simon can pick one.
Well, I mean, the one that really jumped to mind was my grandmother. She had post-medical issues throughout her life, um, but through it all, um, she never lost her zest for life and remained the most wise person that everyone in my family sought advice from. And um, she never focused on herself. She always was there to, regardless of how she was feeling or the pain that she was going through, she always focused to make sure that the everyone around her uh, was doing well.
Hmm.
All right, I'll tell me where you want me to pick a card from, Kim, so that I
Oh,
can
how about the middle there, where you're, yeah, right in
somewhere
the
there.
middle. Sure.
I take that one. So, have you ever felt isolated or lonely at work? Should we go with you, Kim?
Sure. So generally speaking, I have to say no, and that as a physical therapist, we tend to work as teams, right? PTOT speech working together. But one of my jobs, um, the leader, or I'd say the head of the department, really emphasized the seniors. Like I was young, so I wasn't a senior clinician, and she would go around in the meetings, and then each of the seniors would get a chance to talk or ask questions or whatever. But she never asked if you weren't a senior yet that you didn't really have a voice. So and I left after a year because I'm like, and maybe if I stayed one more year, I would have been a senior too, but that wouldn't have changed, and it didn't change the way anyone else felt.
Yeah, not inclusive. Huh? Yeah. Does that question resonate with you, Sam? Hopefully it doesn't, because you haven't felt
Yeah.
isolated at work.
I mean, so my answer is not going to be shocking. I'm sure, Simon, that you went through similar feelings um, what I think of as when I was in residency in internal medicine, felt like that all the time. Um, but after having once I since leaving the clinical side, and especially since finding my current business partners about 5 years ago, um, I haven't had that feeling again, but I've definitely, experienced it in the past.
Mhm. How
Yeah.
about yourself, Simon? I know that you've shared some things in your book and
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. So Harvard Business Review rated medicine as the loneliest profession. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because we're sort of surrounded by people, but the way the decisions and the hierarchy and our inability to express weakness. So I definitely the same as Sam, just and some settings worse than others because of the team dynamics and the leadership. You can feel really alone. I mean, in some teams, when you're a junior, they don't even call you by your name. You're just the
Mhm.
resident or the intern,
Mhm.
and being part of a good team is really um, and that inclusivity has really informed my life since then and the teams I want to be part of. Yeah, because
Mhm.
we all feel it, as Sam said. Yeah.
And speaking to that is so important because when doctors were, well, still are struggling sometimes, and I know the pandemic really broke things open, and now that's why some doctors seem to be talking about a little bit more. But so many have said, like, I thought I was the only one, or I thought it was just me. So just having these conversations, like right now, right, where doctors are willing to say, I felt lonely too and to admit that and then just having these conversations can start to form connections.
Yeah. There's a fabulous quote from the psychotherapist Carl Rogers that's that which is most personal is most universal. So I
Mm,
think you're right, Kim. We think it's just us, but it's everyone when you actually
mm.
come out
I
to the
love
open
that.
with these feelings.
Yeah, I love that quote. Let's see. I have another one from the middle of the deck there. If you could write a short message to other healthcare workers on a billboard or on a busy highway, what would it say?
Do you want me to go first or Sam?
Sure, you can go first.
Um, I would say work on your connections with your teammates and build really strong connections. And I think, unfortunately, we often feel like we're competing with people at a similar level, um, but we're not. And the better our connections and our friendships, the better our own health, the better the rest of our life, and we know better care for the patients as well.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Sam?
And to Simon's point, yeah, I mean, I would say something along the lines of it's possible to deliver the highest quality care um, with the best client experience while making it affordable.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's great, right? That is possible, and we all need to figure that out together.
And by doing so, I'd also probably add just, and by doing so uh, in a way that kind of frees you to deliver, because everyone wants to, that, doctors, nurses, everyone who is in healthcare, delivering healthcare wants is in it to actually make a difference and make. No one's like trying to be mediocre.
Mhm.
Um, and so if you give people the freedom to actually deliver the hospitality or the things that to be able to deliver things to the top level that they can, also helps them not get burnt out. So if you give people autonomy and actually, yeah, like Simon said, help them work as a team, good things happen. So I know that's kind of a weird message to put on a billboard. But something to that extent. I don't know how, like, it's in a sexier way.
We'll work on that.
I
Right.
love that. I like that, Sam. And it's kind of aspiring to be part of the world that we all want to live in. We want to live in a world where everyone gets good health care and everyone has access to good care. And, we're all people, isn't it?
Yeah. I might say you are never alone. And also be kind, right? Because if things could change now, if we were all just kind, right? If healthcare leaders were kind to the people who work for them, and if the people who work for them were kind to the healthcare leaders, and if everyone was kind to the patients, and the patients were kind to the doctors and the healthcare leaders, right? Things could change today. So those are my two. So you're up,
I
All
son.
like
right.
that.
I'm up, and I'll offer Sam a pick from
Okay.
whereabouts in the deck. Do
Yeah.
you want to go
Let's go with the fifth card from the left,
from my left?
from your left. Yep.
Okay. One, two,
That was very
three, four,
specific.
five. This is a good one for you, Sam. How do your actions support what your values are?
Oh, wow. So I've learned, I mean, again, this isn't going to be anything revelatory. It's one of those things where you have to live your values, and with time, that pays off. It takes a long time for the fruits of that labor to be seen. Um, but so for me, for example, um, I want to be able to go to any hospital or practice in the U.S. or the world, really. But let's say start with where I live, and be able to know that I'm getting the best care possible, the best value possible in terms of, let's say, price, or I don't have to wait very long for it. I know that there won't be mistakes or complications or infections from that care. Um, so essentially, getting all the good stuff and then none of the bad, at a price I can afford, and the team taking care of me is compensated appropriately as well. And so working towards that, um, and making it also kind of saying it out loud, um, helps me also keep myself honest to remember that that's what I'm working towards, and so that I can so I can stay honest to, um, both my goals and my values.
Right. Yeah, that's great. I'm really glad you're the person that's helping the organizations with your strong values. I think that's really, really going to be useful. Kim, how do your actions support what your values are?
Well, if I think about a few values that come right away to mind, it's like kindness and humor and integrity. So I do just try to be kind, in whatever I do. And I do like to incorporate humor. So that's another one. And then just really, I try to do things with integrity and, treat other people the way I would want to be treated, and not talk about other people and things like that.
Yeah, they're great. I think we can all attest to you. You get that right. Um, so for me, I don't think I've always been good at this, but I do try to go away whenever someone does something that's a little bit out there or doesn't agree with what I think, or it seems like bad behavior. I try to view it from their perspective, and it's often later on. I'm not sure that I always get it right in the moment, and just see what is the reason, what could have informed that. And so I guess part of that is trying to build in a little bit of forgiveness and understanding of others, and try to learn it. And I think with age, I'm probably getting a little bit better. I haven't always been good, but that's something I do try to do, go away and give them the benefit of the doubt, I guess.
That's great. So I know we have time for at least one more from this part of the pile. So I guess we should say that there were green ones, right, which were more the icebreaker ones in your deck, and then the white ones are the ones we're doing now. And then there's ending, they're kind of like a tan color. And after that, if you would wanted, were you going to say something?
No,
Oh,
just
okay.
listening to you.
Okay, so another one I pulled out is what are you most proud of in the last 12 months of work?
Who's first?
Either one.
You
I
guys.
can go. Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good. I would say just the team I'm with. I'm very proud of the work we've done, and really, um, it's really hard to find people who align with you, and align with not making it about yourself. Because the work that we do essentially, in the long term, isn't about us. And like it's not about our EBITDA and how much money we're able to make from working with hospitals or practices or whatever. um, we're all aligned in the fact that we're in it to make a difference, and and so we measure our success in the amount of essentially how much we're able to change patients' lives, how much we're able to change the lives of people taking care of them, um, and ultimately, um, what we're all looking forward to is being able to make a difference big enough where uh, other organizations that we haven't worked with start seeing the difference that hospitals that we've worked with have made or have things that they've achieved, and then start copying those things, and then in essence just kind of making themselves better by doing that. But I'm very proud of just having a team that's aligned on the goal.
That's great, Simon.
Similar to Sam in the team aspect, I think personally, I've probably been a bit braver in leadership and being able to things that we to do things differently, because medicine and healthcare is a very entrenched and rigid culture where we mostly do stuff all the same. And so to be able to innovate and to be able to say things where we're aspiring to a different way can be uncomfortable to say that, be seen to be going outside the norm. And so I've been doing a bit more of that, and that it's taken for me a little bit of courage, maybe maybe not for
Mhm.
others, but and just to sort of try to do things a little bit differently, and say openly, this is the way we want to go, and I'm quite proud of that. Yeah.
That's great. Well, I think I would have to add in my collaborative book, White Coats, Courageous Hearts, and I love that it stems from the conversations from the YouTube channel like this. And we're working on book two, which we're working title is White Coats, Human Hearts, and Simon will be part of that.
Yep.
So that's fantastic. So I'm just, it's a collaborative book and it's just doctors sharing their stories. And when doctors read it, they'll feel less alone. And when everybody else reads it, they just see the human hearts behind the white coats. And I think it'll be helping everyone.
Right.
So I hate to start winding down, Simon. I feel like we could do this for a long time. But did you want to do one of the brown cards or just say
Yep.
anything else about your Freckling cards? How would you like to wind this down for us?
Well, the brown cards. I've just got a few of them here. There's more, but anyway, pick one, Kim.
Let's see. How are you feeling now at the end of the
Oh.
session?
uh, I'll go first. Sorry. I'm feeling very grateful to you for all your work and your generosity, and both you and Sam for being open, because this is this is a bit different to do this on air, as it were. So thank you both for your patience and being there with me.
Thanks, Simon. How about you, Sam?
I'm grateful for the opportunity to talk with you guys, and I love the questions. I love the cards. This is the first time I've done something like this, especially like Simon said on live. Um, so yeah, I love being able I love having the opportunity to share my thoughts and to listen to your thoughts and being able to share them with others.
Well, thanks. And I'm just feeling like happy and proud and grateful. And I love that because people don't like to talk about feelings sometimes, especially guys, especially male physicians, right? So the fact that you guys were open to doing this, live, I think that's fantastic. And then it's a model, for these conversations. And, we're all human. And I think just having this conversation shows the humanness in each of you for anyone who is going to listen. And so, Simon, is there anything you would like to wind down and share and let us know how we can get a copy of your cards?
Okay, so thanks, Kim. So contact at posmed, posmed.com.au would be a good start. And if people want to reach out to me, it's Simon, Simon, at posmed, posmed.com.au. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. And Sam, is there anything else you would like to tell us about your work and how our listeners can get in touch with you? Final words from you.
Yeah, thank you. Really, we're always looking to work with more practices and hospitals. So if anyone is interested in uh, seeing their practice or hospital achieve better results and increase their revenue uh, and avoid helping their providers avoid burnout, we'd love to talk. People can reach me at my email, Sam K, the letter K, at mkchealth.com. Or they go to our website, mkchealth.com. They can also submit like a questionnaire there.
Okay, well, that's terrific, and I can't wait to see how things go with each of your projects over the coming months. We'll have to have a follow-up episode, maybe in a year, and see how everything's been going. And yeah, thanks again for being my guest. I really appreciated having both of you on and introducing you to each other.
Thank you, Kim.
You're
Thanks, Kim.
welcome. You're welcome. So, in closing, to move the needle in healthcare, we all need to raise our voices and we all need to care about each other. We already know that doctors need to care about patients, patients need to care about doctors too. So, stand up, doctors, and let's stand up for doctors.